Hi there. It's Cheryl coming to you from my home office in beautiful Summerland, British Columbia. I have been putting this off for some time. We'll get to that. But I was challenged this past Monday by Mr. David Wood to tell a story about a magical time. And I've been long overdue to talk about my experience last June when I attended the event in Atlanta for Empower Network. It was rather mind-blowing for me. So first of all, I knew I had to go to the event in Atlanta. I wasn't sure how I was going to make it there. But, for those of you who don't know, I have been on disability for about a year now. So I was not in a financial position to attend. But I'm a strong believer that if the intention is strong enough, somehow it'll happen. So, okay. So prior to attending, I had sold my record collection as a means to, like, all my vinyl. I'd been dragging it around since I left Manitoba in 1991. And, in the old milk crates that so nicely held your albums. Anyways, I'll get to that later as far as the importance of selling the record albums. I was set to room with people I'd never met before. I had been talking to a girl on Facebook who lives in Prince George, who's that's north in northern BC from where I am, and we're called the Central Interior, so we're about 4 hours from Vancouver. That helps at all. I live in Summerland again. I said because Summerland's where we grow the peaches and the apples, the cherries, and it's incredibly beautiful. And the winters aren't as harsh as they were where I grew up, which was in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Anyways, okay. So I got to Atlanta. I waited at the airport for who I was going to room with. Didn't find her, but found my friend Melixina, who I'd been talking to on Facebook, who flew in from Prince George. We met her at the airport after some challenges finding her. We took a drive into the Omni Hotel in the same van. It was just us two, and a fellow was sitting behind us, and I could kind of tell he was giggling at most of our conversation. We said hi and that, and we arrived at the hotel, and when we got out, he said, You're here for the Empower event, aren't you? And I said, yeah. I could hear you giggling behind us, and nice to meet you, Mel and I went to the front desk along with our new friend, Tony. And because the hotel rooms were booked in somebody else's name and they couldn't tell us what room they were in, they could dial for us, but no one was in the room, so we were able to leave a message. But anyways, long story, Mel and I turned to Tony and discovered from him that he had prepaid for a room. He was on his own, didn't have any roommates, and so it was, so do you want to room with us? Or is it okay if we room with you? Like, nothing like being forward with a complete stranger. Anyway, so we got an awesome room. We were upgraded and treated like so wonderfully. I have no idea why, other than that we were, a couple friendly Canadian girls. And Tony was eager to, share the expense. I mean, it benefited all of us. So that was that. I had a wonderful couple new friends and a great hotel room to spend this weekend that I didn't know what I was in for. Okay, so I have a lot of money programs, and I've become aware of this a lot through what training and learning I did with Clemmer and Associates. It's a leadership and personal development company that I would recommend to anybody who wants to learn about themselves and figure out why they're the way they are and how they can grow from that, move on, grow as a person. Anyways, I have a lot of money programs. Probably the way I was raised, whatever my father had ideas about how money worked or whatever. So, first off, I decided that weekend that I was going to be fearless. I was going to approach people without being nervous or hesitant. I'm usually not the one that's going to run up and even though I want to meet Tracy Walker or I want to meet David Wood, I'm not going to typically I'm not going to stand in line, behind 10 people. So right off the bat, things kind of started to happen coincidentally, although I'm the first person to say I do not believe in coincidences. Things started happening serendipitously. All of a sudden, I would find out from my friend Melixina or from Tony what they wanted, and then all of a sudden, I was able to arrange that. For instance, Melixina was in John Morose's team. She had never met John, but she had left to go get some food or something and left her seat empty. And all of a sudden, there was John Morose asking me if the seat was taken. Could he have it? We said, well, no, my friend's sitting there, so he sat the next one down, and I text Mel saying, John Morose just wanted your seat. You might want to get back here. So that way, when she did come back, I introduced her to John and John to her, and they ended up going for dinner that night with his group, which was wonderful. Tony, who actually was in Tony Rush's group, he had never met Tony, and at a later time that night, I think it was maybe later in the party, when we were having the party that Saturday night, I noticed Tony Rush and his wife talking to people in kind of off a little room off the lobby area of the hotel. So I went and got Tony. I was going to head up to my room. But then I thought, no, I'm going to grab Tony, my friend, and drag him over and introduce him to Tony Rush. So that happened. I mean, it made Tony's night, and I was able to take a few pictures and a video or two of him talking to his, guy that he wanted to meet. Anyways, I felt, the fearless thing. I posed a question to Ashley when she was on stage, Ashley Needles, David Wood's wife, who's just a beautiful, just amazing person. Anyways, I did things that normally were things that I would do. Out of my comfort zone, definitely. So Sunday, we got up to this topic of the master's course that was going to be offered in Costa Rica and the money programs, right? They told us they weren't going to sell us anything in Atlanta. So when this master's course got brought up and was basically being sold to us, I was not impressed. I got really angry and I broke into tears, and I was really upset because a very good friend of mine, Ivan, and his wife Angelina and their 7 children had relocated to Costa Rica that prior October. And it had always been my dream to live somewhere tropical, somewhere warm, and I'm always happiest when I'm near water, warm water that I can snorkel in. because my idea of heaven is snorkeling. Anyways, so Costa Rica comes up and I'm in tears. And Mel is elbowing me, trying to interrupt me, trying to make me feel better. And I'm like, just give me a moment. I'm upset here and I don't want to talk to you right now. I can't handle this. I'm supposed to be at this event. I don't know how. I do not have the money, and I just don't know how this is going to happen. So again, oh, woe is me, right? I took a moment to kind of get my bearings and to stop my pity party. And Mel handed me this note. Because she said, fine, if you're not going to listen to me, I'm going to write it down for you. I saved this note from Atlanta. When I did look at it, it said, I'll pay for your ticket. Because I trust you and I believe in you. And when you get your money from your timeshare, which I had been trying to sell for a long time, you'll pay me and share with me what you learn. Until like a day and a half before this, I had never met this woman. She was a friend on Facebook. Well, you know, you got thousands or hundreds or whatever friends on Facebook. Seriously. Who's gonna offer to pay for Costa Rica? Anyway, sorry. I still get, just... I rushed back to the back of the room to sign up. Because I was like, are you sure? I wasn't sure. I was just like sick to my stomach and going, I had, prior to leaving, had been offered, like an offer had come in for my timeshare, and it was for $5,500. It's a hell of a lot less than what I had planned to, try to get for my timeshare. And we'll go into that ugliness, but I went to the back of the room, and sure enough, I registered for the master's course in Costa Rica, and found out that my application was the first one in. So, all of a sudden, not only was I going to Costa Rica, I had been planning. I had had garage sales, probably about 5 by then. I ended up having a couple more to get rid of a lot of my stuff so that I could relocate to Costa Rica in September of 2012 this year. But here I was not only going to attend the Masters, now I was moving to Costa Rica, just a little bit earlier than planned. So, gosh. Just another thing that blew my mind while I was in Costa Rica, or while I was in Atlanta, was that the albums that I had sold, the vinyl, I had got $150 for, turned out to be the exact amount of my share of my hotel room expense for that weekend. So I took my $150 and handed them to Tony, my new friend that I had just moved into his hotel room, the exact amount of what the albums got me. Upon returning home, I'm sure I'm forgetting a zillion things that happened, because I never would have been brave enough to stand up in front of 2,000 or how many people there were, I can't even remember, and pose Ashley a question in a microphone. It's just not me. I don't say I'm like a nervous or scared type, but I don't like being the center of attention. I can talk to people, but once I'm in front of a group of people, I'm very, very nervous. So the idea of speaking in front of a crowd has always been like, I'd rather stick pins in my eyes. Horrible. I jump out of a plane. I have jumped out of a plane. I would do that. I would bungee jump. I would do whatever rather, if I had a choice, as opposed to speaking in public. It's definitely my greatest fear. So upon returning home, after this amazing, mind-blowing, crazy weekend where I was fearless, and even to the t-shirts, I mean, I was going around asking other people if they wanted to buy t-shirts so that we could get in on a group, bulk buy deal. I mean, people knew that met me that weekend remembered later, like when I attended the Costa Rica event, they remembered me as the girl that was trying to get everyone to buy the t-shirts so that we could get the group rate. Anyways, I got home. Like I said, I had this offer of $5,500. Got home, and I have a lot of little cards that are around me in my work area. Little, little reminder things. Little, like this. Remove the word need from my vocabulary. Decide to be successful. I mean, I have a little thing by my mirror that says, "You look remarkably good today," or that sort of stuff, I've battled with depression on and off. I don't say I don't say suffer. I say battled for a very long time, majority of my life. So I come home. I have a couple verses too that I have posted. A couple years ago, I got baptized again, but on my own doing. That's a whole other video. I came home and I realized that this was one of my cards. Sell timeshare equals Costa Rica. Meaning that if I were to sell my timeshare, it would fund me relocating to Costa Rica. Well, but in Clemmer we learn things are always differently than how we're gonna. Things appear or things that happen, we may want, they may show up, but how they show up is typically not the way they're going to appear in your life. We can pretty much guarantee that. The trick is to not be tied to your expectation in the way that you see it, if that makes any sense. Okay, so again, back to this, sell timeshare equals to Costa Rica. And that actually didn't end up meaning it's going to fund my relocation. Remember the offer that I got for the timeshare was $5,500? Well, the only product that I didn't own in Empower at that point was the Costa Rica Intensive, which was $500. And the master's course, if anyone remembers, from Atlanta was $5,000. So really, the timeshare selling did equal Costa Rica, but just in a different way than I had imagined. Freaky! So, gosh, I'm just looking at my notes. I wanted to share that. I'm sure I'm forgetting, like I said, I'm forgetting 100 things, but I just want to impress upon you about how David shared on Monday night, this past Monday night in November. Be aware of the amazing magic or God or the power of universe in your life. The more you become aware of it, the more you notice it reoccurring again and again in your life. And I can say for sure I have no problem testifying to that effect. So I'm going to remind myself each day just how thankful and how grateful, how blessed I am, and it's a perfect fitting for me to post this today because my American friends are celebrating their Thanksgiving today. I hope you all are having a blessed day wherever this finds you. And much love, just tons of love, loads of love to you and yours. And I think that'll be over and out for today. I started doing a couple videos when I first arrived in Costa Rica. And because of my world getting rocked a couple weeks in, which I will probably get around to videoing something soon once I'm back on track with this video thing that I'm so hesitant about. Yeah, we'll get back to that. So anyways, wish you all well. And I hope this helped, or I hope it blessed you somehow. Okay? Bye.